think businessmen used to be afraid to bring creatives to the boardroom, right?
Because they would say stupid things.
Yes. I think actually you are a super creative businessman. What did you learn over the years about like fostering creativity?
At the end of the day, the product we have in advertising is a creative product. Today, the way I work, creative people will even be in the client brief. And that's part of the success.
Well, this is great. I mean, I'm so glad to be here with Serge Rancourt. I actually looked up how to pronounce his Quebecois last name properly.
You did really well.
Serge is a great friend, and he's agreed to talk to us about. I think it's more about the business of design, really. I guess just for the people that don't know Serge's career, like he started off, I guess, with Y&R, Young and Rubicam in advertising, then Publicis, like went from 40 people to 400 people or something like that. Like major growth in advertising. And then he's co-founded now The Grid.
Which is NFA. The Grid is a bunch of agencies, as you know.
Yeah, so there's more.
NFA, where we are today, which was our first agency, No Fixed Address.
Which is funny because No Fixed Address is actually an address now.
Yeah, so No Fixed Address was just the idea of that no fixed solution for clients, just have a mindset about how we do business. Then we started Mischief in New York, which has been very successful. Then we launched Courage in Canada. And the reason we did Courage was because we had a chance to pitch for CIBC, and we had Questrade, so it was a conflict. So we created a new agency just for CIBC.
Glasses here too. Do you want to try these on? Here. Try this one on.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
So these are like strategies that have really helped fuel a huge growth. We were talking about it. The advertising industry worldwide is trillions.
2 trillion.
$2 trillion. So, but look at all the creative support and the financial sustainability that's created this whole idea about marketing products and services and all the creative people that are working for it. How did you get into that space?
But good question, because I'm not a creative person like you. And I studied business. I was at business school and I studied business, and I was really attracted to work in advertising. Because at the end of the day, advertising is one of the major tool that you have in business. And as we said, $2 trillion. The reason there's so much spending in advertising is because it's really working. So I was attracted to advertising. And because I was a business guy, I joined an agency as an account guy. I couldn't join as a creative guy because honestly, creative guy at that time came either from art school as designer or they were copywriter, and I was neither a good writer. And this is where I started to really appreciate and love what creative people do. Because at the end of the day, the product we have in advertising is a creative product.
Like, how do you have that kind of empathy? Like, what did you learn over the years about like fostering creativity, even in the recruitment side, and your partner too? Like, how did that all like come together for you? Because obviously it's one of your super strengths, and what probably the reason for your success, I'm guessing, is your people skills, right?
I think there's an abuse of creative people. I think we need to respect them. We need to help them because their brain works on one side, not the other side. It doesn't mean they should not get help. And that's my mission in life. I've always been to help creative people. And as you know, in our agency, we have incredible creative leaders who are also partner and owner of the agencies. And they are like family. Yeah.
Maybe that's where, I don't know, I'm just guessing now, but maybe that's one of the reasons for your success, because the business is sort of notorious for like chewing up people and spitting them out, right? So tell me about that sort of transition to what's happening today as it was rapidly evolving.
I think the industry has self-destroyed itself, and I was really part of that. When I started, as you mentioned, at Young and Rubicam, we were a privately held agency. It was a great company, investing in people, investing in tools, investing in research for clients, and so on. Then I was there when we became a publicly traded company, which changed everything. So I saw like basically finance people running the company. And their model was basically find efficiencies, like move everybody in the same office, kill some brands, group people together, and so on. And that's, to me, it's a dead zone because it's basically you're way down to the value chain. And the reason we launched our agency is because not that only us saw it coming, but I think the industry saw it coming. And we wanted to create an agency that's more like the Young and Rubicon of the old days, where basically we don't compete on efficiency. We don't even do timesheet. We compete on output. So what we say to clients, we're going to be, we quote them on job on output, not on hourly rate, which are ridiculous. Cool. And that allows us to hire very good people, pay them well, and deliver really good results for clients. So clients are happy, and they say, if we deliver the good work, you pay for it, give us another project.
Like, I think that's great for the creatives out there to be able to think like, hey, like I'm just a little independent creative person, I don't have any power, but actually you are a very powerful force these days because companies are interested in your point of view.
And that's what you call about independent agency, where people who basically are part of the leadership on the agency, they're always there. And client loves to deal with people who have a stake in the game. And that's part of the success. And the ND right now, I will say, I've seen pitch being done, big pitch for big clients in the US and Canada, where they only ask for an independent agency. They don't want the network anymore.
And you're in the audience, and you don't know you're going to win, right?
You don't know, but you know if you submit it, you get.
Yeah.
You basically get shortlisted.
Award.
Those are the best awards. So
I think this is really coveted in the business, isn't it?
Yeah, this is.
So when you get this one, yeah, you know you. How do you foster these young people that are coming into the industry,
And what we see right now is evolution over the last 15 years is creative people who really are good at business. Like if you talk to any of our leaders, creative leaders, they can sit with a CEO and talk about their business, which is amazing. That. And they can talk intelligently, and clients love it because they're sitting with a creative person who brings a total different perspective into their business while they understand the business.
So there can be a kind of hybrid creative now.
It has to be.
It has to be.
It has to be. I would say creative, when I started in the business, you had the creative department. You're almost afraid of walking in because they look at you like, why are you disturbing us? And they were totally removed from the process. Today, the way I work, the way we work, creative people will even be in the client brief. So when the client briefs us, we have creative people with us. So to have them involved from the beginning is an incredible advantage for an agency. And I will say, to your point, creative people today have to understand business. And it's a sad thing if they don't.
I think businessmen used to be afraid to bring creatives to the boardroom, right?
Because they would say stupid things.
Yes. I think without imagination in the future now, to face the future, I think it's a big failure, especially when we have like the onset of AI in the business. What's your opinion of that right now?
AI, we use AI. I mean, it's a good tool to get us to where we want to be, but it's, I would say AI leads to the usual. We need to get the unusual. I'll never give you the unusual because everybody has the same answer. But in terms of when we do strategy, to do research, it really speed up the process.
Yeah.
Even the way creative people work, and you're one of them, when you brief creative people, they basically sit in a room and start thinking. And usually they look at other campaigns or they look at books. They try to get inspired by something. With AI, I mean, you can get this really fast.
Instantly.
Because you get the work done.
I think people do crave the qualities of art, like that imaginative, that craziness.
Absolutely.
The best campaigns are like, wow, like how do they think of that? So there is a kind of like wildness about it that you find in like that openness that you might find in a fine arts space. But there is a mission. The mission is to make money for the client, really.
Yeah, to have the work work.
And to make us sustainable too, right, as an agency or as a design firm or whatever, right?
Yeah, otherwise you lose the client. You see a lot of awards here, and there's a lot of industry award in our industry, and the most important one is called the Cassies. And Cassies is basically global in 125 countries, and it's based on performance. And I will say our agency, our group of agencies, have won more Cassies than almost any other.
So they actually look at the
you have to prove the case that
you actually made a lot of money for the client.
Brought results.
Or got results, yeah.
And clients
or awareness or whatever.
Clients love those awards, and we do too. Because, there's nothing that creative people who are more proud of than building a campaign that brings results. And if you look at some campaign we've done where you see the market share going up or sales going up, we're very happy. I mean, this is really rewarding.
That sounds really amazing because I think in the industrial design area, which I'm from, sometimes the awards were the kiss of death because only the designers liked it, right?
It's the sales. It's changing opinion. Whatever you were trying to do, if you have achieved that and you can measure it, that's basically the measure of success.
Yeah, for a client, for a regular person to take their hard-earned money out and buy a product or service is the most satisfying thing that can happen out of a campaign, I would think.
Oh my God, yeah. People talk, and you talk about campaigns that are basically outside. You see them at the Super Bowl, and you will say, "Wow, this is a wild idea." That idea was really framed into something very strategic. So one of the lately successful was 2 years ago in the Super Bowl. We did an ad for Tubi. And Tubi, I don't know if you know them in Canada or the US, it's basically a channel where you see movies. Yeah. It's like a Netflix, but it's free and they have advertising. And the ad that we did was basically, you were watching the Super Bowl and it looks like somebody switched the channel. It went and went to Tubi and somebody is flipping different movies and everybody went nuts. So basically in bars we have footage. People say, oh, at home, who changed? Somebody set on the channel?
The Tubi Super Bowl commercial may have been the best commercial of all time.
So basically, the Clio gave one ad for the Super Bowl ad, the best ad. That won the best Super Bowl ad. And I remember the client saying, you know, we used to call agency because they sell advertising on Tubi, and nobody will return our call. Now we can't even return people's calls. There's so many calls coming in. That business from that little commercial went up like this.
I think you could give credit to Orson Welles for the War of the Worlds radio campaign where they actually started saying, we've been invaded by Martians, and everyone was like driving off the road and running over. So it's the same similar concept, isn't it? You took the sort of reality, you changed the whole idea of reality. And yeah, I say I want to thank you really so much for being with me today. I really it's been a real pleasure. And I learned a lot today myself too. So I love doing this and thank you for taking the time.
And maybe one last thing for me to say is that I'm not the creative, you are, and I have so much respect for the work you've done on Raw. I mean, it's been amazing. And the teaching and giving back, so you're a great person.
Thank
and
you
I'm
for saying
happy
that.
to give my little bit.
Thanks for saying that.